Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the next session in ABAP learning series. So, in our last session, we have created an ABAP program and we have discussed how the data declaration is being done, how the data selection is being done, and how the data processing is being done, and how you can display the results. Okay, so in that program, we have declared data. Okay, so what we did, we have declared data, then select select data from two tables. Then we have combined the result set into a internal table. Okay, then we have displayed the result set in output. Okay, so in that case we have covered how we can declare the data. Okay, and how we have selected from multiple tables. And now in data processing we have combined the result set, right? And after that we have formatted the output as needed. Okay, so these four things we have done. So in our case, what happened, what is the drawbacks of our report? So whatever we did, we have used the select star. Okay, that means we have selecting all the fields and all the records from the table, right? So we have selecting all the records from both the tables and we are combining those data and we are displaying in the output. But in real time, that is of no use because we have to run the report based on few criteria. Okay, and those criterias can be come from user input, right? So let me put something here as data declaration. Okay, now we need to get some input from the user. Okay, so for that we need to create selection screen. Okay, and this is our data selection, and this is our data processing, and this is our output section. Okay, so now coming to user input section. Okay, so based on the input section we will filter the data and select those data which are necessary or which are based on the user input. Okay, so for that we will be creating a selection screen. Okay, so let's filter this result based on the carrier ID and connection ID. Connection ID is nothing but the root. Okay, carrier ID is the airlines ID. Okay, so in this case we have declared two parameters, one is p char id and p con id. Okay, and this s underscore char id, s underscore con id is the data type of this carrier id and connection id. Okay, so if you double click this s underscore char id and con id, you will see these are data elements. Okay, data elements are global data types which are created based on the elementary data types or domains. Okay, if you have forgot that what is data element and domain, then refer to our previous sections. So here check s connection id, that is also a data element. Okay, so now let's save this one, save this program, check, activate and execute. Okay, so when you execute, you see this is an intermediary screen which is coming before the result set. Okay, this screen is called as selection screen. Okay, now go to the program input. So this is how the input screen looks like. Okay, you can format the input screens into a more user friendly manner, but this is a basic input screen. Okay, so now coming to our program, so we have created this input screen. Okay, now give this as an input. Okay, and execute. You can see the results are same. Okay, so we need to implement this input, user input, in our logic. Okay, that means when you are selecting start from SPFLI into table SPFLI, where the char id equals to p underscore char id and right, and similarly these fields already exist in lt underscore flight, right? So use the same where condition here as well. Now save this one, check, activate and execute. Okay, now here give the carrier id as AA. So you are getting no results. Why? You can say because this field is empty, and in our carrier id or this id table there is no data for this American Airlines AA, and this is space. Okay, so if you execute all the 84 records, that is 17, this is 26, 64, but there is nothing related to space. Okay, so now Yesterday we have covered the basics of debugging, right? Let's see why there is no data coming in the output. Okay, now yesterday I have explained how to activate a debugger in ABAP program. So today we will see how you can trigger the debugger in a different way. Okay, in the command field put slash then h. Okay, you see the slash h. Now hit enter in your keyboard. Okay, you can see the debugging is switched on. The only drawbacks of this type of debugging is the program will get into debugger from the very first executable line. Okay, now execute this one. Now F5. See, now if you go to this desktop 3, you can see the carrier ID is AA and connection ID is 0000 because there is no data we have entered, right? So now press F5, this single step execution. You can see this size subversive value is 4. Okay, and if you see this lt underscore spfli, there are 0 records. Now again F5, same thing, the size of C is 4 and the internal table lt underscore split has 0 records. Okay, that means both of the select statement has returning 0 records. So that is why while processing the data also lt flight det has 0 records, so it won't go inside this loop and it won't write anything. Okay, so you can see again it is reverting back to the input screen, right? Now select a connection ID. Okay, 0017. Now execute the same. You can see the carrier ID AA and the connection ID 0017, then date, country from, city from, airport from, to country to, city to, airport to, price, currency, maximum seats, occupied seats. Okay, you can see all the information with respect to that particular carrier ID and connection ID. Okay, so now you have understood how to set up the user input as well as how you can restrict the data selection. Okay, so here you understand how to filter the data based on a single input. Okay, so if you want to select the data where the input is a multiple input, okay, that means user wants to select data where carrier ID AA, AB, AC and connection ID also multiple, or the user wants to select all the records where the flight runs from this date to another date. Okay, in that case you have to use a different type of user input. We call those as select options. Okay, select options s underscore fl date for, so here you are using type but here you are using for. And here So the FL date is not part of this table. Okay, so you need to pass this FL date in the SPLIT table. Okay, first execute this. So why there is no output? Okay, so when you are using the select option, instead of equal to, you need to write in. Okay, now activate this one and select AA, and this is 0017. Now let's see, you are getting this output, right? Now give a date from February only, for the month of February. Okay, now execute this one. You can see it is only giving the results which are in between February and March. Okay, here we have given the output as, in the input as 01 02 24 24, that is 1st of February, and here we have given the date as 1st of April. So it will give all the records that belongs to, or all the records which have the flight dates from 1st of February to 1st of April. Okay, that is why you can see the result set is further filtered out. Okay, so now you understand how to filter the data. Okay, now how in the real time you can use those kind of reports. Let's say you are a traveler and you want to travel on the next month, then you will see all the available flights on those date only, right? So now do that. Okay, okay, now check this one, activate, and then execute. Okay, so as a traveler you want to see the available tickets that are available in the month of May. Okay, so now execute this one. So you can see for the carrier ID AA, these are the flights available and carrier id az, these are the flights available. Carrier id dl, these are the flights available. So in that case you can see all the flights from all the carrier ids which are running on the month of May. So if you see this date column, all the dates are belongs to the month of May, right? So now this is a data which can make sense for a user. Okay, that means the report is something which can be used by the business, or which can put sense into data for a user. Okay, so if I just display all the records in the output, then it doesn't make any sense. Okay, but if I apply certain filter based on the user, then we can use the data to fulfill the user's requirement. Okay, so this is very important step to understand the user's requirement for any ABAP or any application related development. Okay, so I hope everything is clear for today. So in our next session we will see certain different concepts. Okay, that means the events of the reports and how we can enhance this report with variety of user inputs. Okay, see you tomorrow then. Have a good day, take care, bye.